Welcome to Solitaire, and thank you for joining us. We've got a lot of material to cover today. What we're going to do is start out with the basic terms and then move forward. First off, right here is referred to as the Trawl Pile, and will be referred to that for the rest of the time being. There are 24 cards in sets of 3. Next, right here, we have the foundation piles. They start with aces, and there are 4 foundation piles. And last but not least, we have this stuff right here. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these, and they are referred to as columns. So there's 7 total. Note that kings can be moved to open columns, and we'll look at that in a little more detail as we go forward. Sometimes when you play Solitaire, you're going to draw a deck that has absolutely no moves at all, where there's nothing you can play, despite, going through it. You're not going to find any moves at all, and it's unsolvable. Now let's go ahead and shift our focus to games that we can solve. Brand new game right here, and we have a decision that comes up quite a bit, so we're going to look at it here. I'm going to click on this draw pile right here. If you'll notice, there's a red jack here, and there is a red jack right there as well. So we have 2 red jacks. Furthermore, if we play this red jack right here, nothing. There's no immediate moves. There could be some moves if we have an ace of spades somewhere, but there's no immediate moves. Since this jack is at the very start of a draw pile, there are 24 cards in this draw pile. There are 3 cards right here, so there's 21 more cards in this draw pile. So, in this situation, I think the best move is to save this jack for later and don't move this jack, unless, of course, you see an ace of spades, because the ace of spades could open up this column, or open up this column, this column. Remember, there's a 3 of spades right here. The ace of spades would open up a bunch of columns, but we don't know that right now. So in a vacuum, I would save this move and not move this card right here, and save this move for later, because this move affects the next 7 spots in the draw pile. And that gives us a lot more flexibility down the road should we need a move or two, or need to move around some of these cards. It doesn't always work out that way, but more often than not, it's going to be beneficial. And in this case, there actually is an ace of spades that's going to come out. But typically speaking, I would strongly consider holding that jack. And basically, playing it from here. Now, unless, of course, you see more moves on this right here. But just because it's at the very start of the draw pile, because it affects all these other cards in the draw pile. Being able to manipulate a draw pile is critical both early in the game and at the end of a game. Here, we've saved this 9 for insurance, and we have no other moves, so that's going to be our move here. Now, a lot of the time, our first thought is, okay, we'll play this 9. We'll play this deuce. We'll play this jack. Okay, we'll go through. Oh, we can play this 8, and then go through again, and go through again, and we're out of moves. Game over, right? Not quite. What we need to do, or need to be able to do, is focus on properly manipulating the draw pile. So let's go back and take a look at it in more detail, which you can probably see on the other side of the screen. So, okay, we've got this 9. All right, that's nice. Underneath, or on the second level, we have this blackjack. This blackjack can be moved. The 6 of diamonds can't, but the blackjack can. In order to do that, we go back here. We need to move only 1 card. We're going to move this 9 of spades. And then on the reset, the jack will be available. And then, of course, we can move the rest of these. And this being able to do this can make a difference between winning and losing a large percentage of the time. So let's go through this again. Okay. This blackjack is going to drop down, and that'll be our first card after I click right here. All right, blackjack is available, and we can move the rest of this as well. And we're just going to be stuck with that 6 of diamonds. But the good news is, what we've done by moving this blackjack is we've opened up the spot for the 10 of hearts. So maybe we can actually solve this. Okay, that's good. Ace of diamonds is a good card. This king is good. Now we can move the queen there. We can move this right here. 2 of diamonds up. Now we can move the 3 of clubs up. We're looking for a 3 of diamonds potentially. But let's see what else we have here. This 5 of spades can go up. 3 of diamonds is right there. That's good. 6 of spades can go up. 4 of diamonds can go up. And do we have another move? Yes, we do. We have the 6 of clubs. We can move it right here. You know, we may be able to solve this. Oh, that's a very good card, because that means we can move this 6 of diamonds. Well, we'll leave it up there for now. But we can at least move this 7 of clubs right here. And voila, 4 of clubs opens. 5 of clubs opens, 5 of diamonds, 6 of diamonds, and, you know, we're going from not being able to solve it to being able to solve this. And you can see we're moving this up here. Odds are we're going to have this solved. 8 of spades, 9 of spades, 9 of hearts, 7 of diamonds, and we solved it. But if we didn't properly manage the draw pile, none of this would have happened. Sometimes we're faced with a choice of 2 moves, and we don't know which one to choose. Here we have a 7 that can go under the 8, and we also have a red 7 here. We don't know which one is the best move, so what we can do is try one variation and then use the undo button right here to test the other variation. So let's go ahead and do this here. We put the 7 there. There's a jack we can move. There's a 4 we can move. And there's an ace we can move up top. You know, pretty strong, solid move. And we can uncover this club right here. So that's a pretty good move right there. So we should just go with it, right? Well, not quite. Let's try the other one. We're going to go back using the undo button, and we're just going to check. You know, that might be the best move, but you never know. There might be a better one. Okay, 7 goes under the 8, and voila, we found a better move. We can still move the 7, so we ended up being able to move both on this. If we had just stayed with the original move, we wouldn't be able to make all the extra moves, and we can still move, you know, all these cards up top as well. And we end up with a better move. This game right here is not solvable, but that's not the point. The point is how to use cards of the same color to uncover piles. We're going to go through the draw pile real quick. What we don't want to do is put a 2 of clubs right here, because that will block what we're looking to do. So we're not going to do that. We're going to undo that. We're going to go back. What we want to do is we want to get this 5 of clubs moved over here and then open up what card is underneath there. In order to do that, we're going to use these spades to do that. So 2 of hearts goes up top, 3 of hearts goes up top. Now the 4 of spades goes up top, and you can see right here there's a 5 of spades. There's also a black 5 of clubs. We're using cards of the same color to open up piles. So we're going to put the 4 of diamonds right here. That allows us to put the 5 of spades up top, and further allows us to move this card, 5 of clubs, over to here, which will open up this pile right here. and gives us a few extra moves. And in this case, we're not going to be able to solve the game, but that's not the point. The point is that we were able to use cards of the same color to make more moves available. Now you can also use the foundation pile right here to help get cards out of the draw pile and eventually, get cards out of some of these columns here. What specifically am I talking about? Well, we'd like to get this 4 down here so we can move this 3 and see what's under that. But in order to do that, we need to be able to get this 4 down first. If you look at this foundation pile right here, you'll notice there is a 5 of diamonds right here. What we're going to do is we're going to take the 5 of diamonds, put it under the 6 of clubs, and that allows us to put the 4 of spades right here. And it also allows us to move this 3 of hearts and see what's underneath there. And that also allows us to move some other cards and work our way down the list of the pile as we go. Now the 7 of hearts is open, and then we can open up this original pile right here. And then that leads to more opportunities. So that's a tricky move that you don't catch all the time, but if you something to look for, it can allow you to continue a game further than you normally would. Now let's go ahead and take a look at another example of how to do this. Here's an example where we have no move here and no move here. We go through again and no moves. Game over, right? Not quite. We have moves, and that is basically this. If you see, there's a foundation pile. There's a big foundation pile right here with a 6 of clubs. What we're going to do is use the foundation pile to get cards out of the draw pile and solve this. Now, if you kind of look at this or look ahead, you'll notice there is a 4 of diamonds that could be moved potentially if we have a black 5. Well, if we move the 6 of clubs, now we have our black 5. We can take our black 5 right here. 4 of diamonds goes down. And then this opens up a wide range of possibilities for us to move forward. Now we can move the 2 of diamonds up, 3 of diamonds up, 4 of diamonds up, and then the real question is, do we want to undo this pile or figure out what's under this 3 of hearts? I'm going to try to figure out what's under the 3 of hearts and see what's there. And that's a very good card for us, the 2 of hearts. That means if we can get up to this card under the 7 of clubs, we have it solved. So we move this up, 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 4 of spades up, 5 of spades up, 5 of clubs up, 6 of clubs up, and we'll eventually have this solved because now we can move up the 8 of diamonds, and then all we have to do is take care of this 9 of spades, which we'll be taken care of shortly. So the 7 of spades goes up, 6 of hearts goes up, and yeah, we pretty much have this solved here. The point I'm trying to make is you always got to look at every angle. So if you have this draw pile messed up over here, look at the foundation pile and see if you can't do anything, assuming that you've built up the foundation pile. Then you have more room to work with should you have a bottleneck somewhere. In this example right here, we're going to use cards of the same color to build these foundation piles up top here. So we're going to play this. We can't play the 5. We can play the 6. Eventually, we're going to get bottlenecked, and there's, not going to be a move for us. What we're going to have to do is shift cards around so we can move these cards over. So like this doesn't play, this doesn't play. Well, we have a play. That's simply we take the 7, the clubs right here. We're going to move it underneath the 8 of hearts. That allows us to move the 8 of diamonds up top. Now we want to make some more moves. Okay, we got to look around and see what is there. There's a 7 of hearts, but we can't do anything because of the 6 of clubs is there. What we can do is the 8 of spades. We can put the 8 of spades up top. We have to move the 7 of hearts right here. And we have two cards of the same color. We have an 8 of spades and an 8 of clubs right there. So we're going to move this card right here under the 8 of clubs. That allows us to put the 8 of spades up top. It allows us to put the 9 of spades up top. It allows us to put the 9 of diamonds up top. And then the next card we want to do is the 10 of diamonds, or the 10 of spades, which we can do as well. We'll put that up top there. Now we want to move the 10 of diamonds. Okay. We got two red 10s. We can do that. We're going to move this 9 of clubs underneath the 10 of hearts right there. That allows us to put the 10 of diamonds up top. And then, oh, by the way, this jack of spades can go up top too. And that's really good because that's going to help us solve this. We can move the jack of clubs right here under the queen of diamonds. And that opens up this red queen right here. And we solve the puzzle. So that's another way you can use cards to go back and forth and build up those foundation piles there. Moving kings from column to column can be a little bit tricky. One of the reasons why is if you go through the draw pile, you don't necessarily know how many kings. There's one king here. There's another king right here. And then let's see if there's anything else here. Oh, there's another red king right here. So you don't know what else is underneath. And sometimes you don't. Let's say I got this red king right here. Well, if I put it right here, you know, I can move this red jack if I get a black queen, which we, if you go back here, let's see. Oh, yeah, we just happen to have a black queen right here. So that move would generally be preferred to moving this king over here. The only exception to that would be, let's say I can move this and I still have an open spot. If that situation occurs, then it makes sense to do what we did right there. And then, of course, you can take that red king. And then we know that we have the black queen out there to be able to open this column up right here. In front of us, we have a decision that we have to make a lot of different times. And in this situation, there's one thing about this. If you notice there's a red king, first thought is to put the red king right there. However, if you have later in the draw pile a black king and of course this red queen right here, you're going to want to play the black king first because you can always go back and play the red king later. So in this case, instead of playing this red king of diamonds right here, we're going to hold off on that and keep our fingers crossed that we can move these cards later. And we're going to play this black king first, because the queen can go there, and then this slot is still open should we choose to play that red king later on, or be able to get it out of the pile here. Let's see what we got. And in this case we will, because the red king is going to get pulled on the next cycle through. And there we have it. We're able to play both kings. If we had played the red king first, we would not be able to play both kings if this is bottlenecked here. This next tip involves the draw pile right here and having two cards of the same color, like same number or same style here. So we're going to go through the draw pile and we get a little bit toward the back and we see a black king. We hit the next one and then the next one and there's another black king. There are two different black kings that can be played down here. Generally speaking, I prefer to play cards out of the draw pile on the very back and then work my way to the front. The exception to that is if you have two of the same number or the same color. So two black kings, two black jacks, two red 10s, two red 3s. I prefer in that case to play not the second one, but the first one, on the theory that it'll change more stuff around. So in this case, I'm going to play the first one. Let's go back here. We're just going to cycle back to the very first. So we look at the cards here. Okay, we got a black king. We go back, we got another black king. We are going to play the first one right here, not the second one. So we're playing the first one, not the second one. And the reason being is it seems like you have more chances to solve it down the road if you take that route. And in this case, we had a bunch of cards underneath that we could move. And that just, it opens up a lot more stuff and opportunities to move cards around. And this next time we go around here, we're going to have more opportunities, to move cards around. So that's why I prefer in that situation to do it like that. As you can see, this is working out actually very well, and most of the cards are getting pushed here. And then, oh, by the way, we still have a chance to move this black king. If we had done it the other way, maybe we could still move, but not quite as fast. So that's one thing. It doesn't always help, but I found more often than not it's been effective for me. Here's a second example of having two cards of the same color in the draw pile. We're going to cycle through. This is the first of the two cards we have. This is red king right here. And you're going to see a second red king coming up in just a minute right there. Now, typically I prefer to play cards from the back of the draw pile. But in this circumstance, or this situation right here, since they're both the same card, I prefer to play it earlier, especially with big cards like this, because it gives you more chances to move other big cards. So you can see these other big cards right here. It gives you a chance to move those through. So let's say, for example, we play this king right here. What's going to happen is it's going to pull this ace forward. It's going to pull this queen forward. And then, of course, the 6 it's going to pull forward as well. It'll allow us to make more moves. If we just move this king, we might not be able to move the queen unless we have another card underneath to get to it. So it's going to give us more moves. So we're going to backtrack here and take a look at how this plays out. All right, option 1, option 2. We're playing this option. It's going to free up the ace and the queen, black queen. We'll go through again, and all of a sudden, black queen is freed up. And, some other moves as well. But that is one example of why you'd prefer to play the first of the two cards of the same color in that spot. In this segment, we are going to be talking about playing low cards in columns. And the question is, should we do it? Should we not do it? I typically like to play the cards, and then if there's a problem at the end of the game, I'll use the undo button to get out of the problem. Now, sometimes if that low card from the draw pile, as you can see, we have an original draw pile right here. If that low card comes from the back end, I may try not to play it until later, because you're always going to get another look at it, more than likely, if it's in the back. Now, if that same card, in this case we're talking about the 3 of clubs, if that card is in the front of the draw pile, let's say rows 1, 2, 3, and it's playable, you may not have a choice to play it because you want to be able to manipulate the rest of the draw pile. Let's say if it was in row 2, where this 10 of diamonds is, playing that will manipulate rows 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the reset. So that's something to keep in mind. And in this case, we have the 3 of clubs. It's basically blocking our path to the foundation pile up top. And the question is, what can we do about it? When you get to a situation like this, if the original card came from the original draw pile, let's say in this case the 3 of clubs is blocking, what you can do is use the undo button and go all the way back all the way back to wherever that card came from. And if it came from the original draw pile, you just leave it in the draw pile, and then you do the whole thing over again. Now, it may take some time to do the whole thing over again, but it's another angle you can use to try to solve it. You may not be able, it may not work, but it's something to definitely take a look at and try out, because sometimes it actually does work. And every so often, what you're going to run into are these little cards that hold everything up. If you can go all the way back and start over, you may actually be able to solve it. Now, it's going to take some time to solve it, and in this example, I'm fast forwarding at about 3 to 4 times the speed. But my point is basically this. If the little card that held it up came from the original draw pile, if you use the undo button and go back and leave it in the original draw pile, don't draw it out as you're playing. You see we leave the clear clubs up top. You're going to have a chance at solving this, and if you don't solve it, you're at least going to get a little bit further than you originally were, as you might find one more move. Now, of course, sometimes you get lucky, and that one move leads to another move, which leads to another move, which leads to another move, and you can whittle down a pile or a column. Here we have the 4. Okay, we're going to move that. Now we're tied up by the 6, but we have a move there. Do we have a move? Yes, we do. We have that move up top, and now the rest of it is pretty much solved. And in this case, we solved something that we normally wouldn't do. This game right here is an example of why you want to save cards in the draw pile until the very end. Here we have a 10. That may or may not be playable, but the example will become clear in just a minute here. Going to see what moves we have. Okay, yeah, there. Now, going to move the king because it opens up 2 different kings, and that allows us to build up columns there. We have an early move, and that's this 8 of clubs. We're saving that. And the reason we're doing that is to build up our way out of here. So let's see what other moves we have here. We have the king, the 10, and the 4. We're going to back off there, and we're going to try to slowly work this out here. Okay, the queen is going to get moved. And then we're going to come back. Now, if you'll notice, underneath that queen, there was a 6 that could have been moved. We didn't take that move, and the reason we didn't take that move, which we normally would do, is because we want to move this red queen right here. And remember, we're trying to work from the back of this pile forward. So we want to work at the end of the draw pile first, and then see what we can manipulate. So, okay, waiting for the queen. Okay, now we got the queen. And then that'll be good, because when we get some jacks, we can potentially move some of these columns here. Let's see what we have going here. Okay, going to work toward the back. I also like to count the number of moves I have as insurance. So this right here would be number 1. I'll just count them on my fingers. Let's see. That's number 2. That's number 3. And number 4 is probably the move we're going to make here. So we got 4 moves, actually 5. So, okay, we got 3 moves when we come back. 2, let's see. And yeah, so we're going to do that move right there, move number 3. So we still got 2 moves left underneath as insurance. We can move this and then see what happens here. This may be interesting. Okay. That's good, because that card can go up top. And now it gets to be fun. Or challenging, either one of the two. This is where it gets complicated. Complicated is probably the best word. Now this card can go up top. This card can go. I'm going to hold off on this 3 of diamonds, just because we don't have an ace of diamonds here. We don't want this to bottleneck us. It may be okay later, but we don't want it to bottleneck us. It's also at the end of the draw pile, meaning we'll get more than one look at it. We can always make that move later if we have to. We do have the ace of diamonds here. If we can get that out, then we'll play this card. But we have to figure out first how to get this ace of diamonds out, and that's going to involve a red jack at some point. So we got 1, 2 moves. That's 2. Let's see what else is there. There's a move. We'll take move number 3 and see what we have. Okay, that's kind of good. That's good. This can go a little fast. Oh, we got another 7. All right. Oh, there's the jack. And I think it was a red. Oh, we got two red jacks, so that's good. Okay. I'm going to pull this card. Actually, I'm going to use a 3 of diamonds at the end for that. Okay, now we can pull the 3 of diamonds because it's opening up one of the columns. And that's a good spot for us there. Now we can move this king. And just going to move this over just in case we have a king later. We do have a king later on. All right, let's go back through again. Again, saving this 10 as insurance. Nothing there. There's a move. And it looks like that's going to cycle through there. Okay. Let's go through again. And made a mistake there. We played a little too fast, so we're going to backtrack here. I don't like moving 3 at once, which is what we did right here. We moved all 3 of these cards at once. That's not always a very smart move. It's the first thing that comes to mind is I can move this, and move that. However, we would like to move this king out right here. And if you'll notice, there's a 5 of hearts here. The last 2 cards are the king and the 4. So we just need to move 1 card. It's going to be the 7 right here. We're only moving the 7. And then we still have this option open here. Oh, that's actually a better move right there. But the reason we move the 7 isn't because of these moves, although that helps. The reason we move that is because we want to move this king. And, of course, the jack as well. So we're going to go through again. And there's going to be a bunch of moves coming out here. We're saving this for insurance for later. And then we'll move these other cards out as well. All right, there's the jack. That goes right here. Now we can start moving these cards out of the way. And let's see what else we have. We have the king. And we'll cycle through again. All right, the 3 goes up. The 4 goes up. 5 goes up. There's no 4 of hearts yet. So that's the tricky part. Let's try it again. Okay, now we want to get this diamond card out. Let's see what else there is. Oh, there is. Okay, there is 2. I'm only going to play this 10 right now. And the reason for that is if you look at the next 3 cards in the draw pile, there's a 4 of hearts, 9 of hearts, 8 of clubs. We want to move this 4 of hearts up to here. That's going to be our top card. So we go through here again, and 4 hearts is there. We're going to move it up top, and then the next card should be the 9 of hearts. So we're only playing one of these cards right now because we want to move that 9 of hearts out on the next turn. So here we go. We can move the 6 right now though, and we can move the 5 of hearts, and we can move the 6 of hearts. Now we're going to come back, and we're going to empty this Trawl pile and then figure out our way to solving this. 9 of hearts can move, and there's an 8 of clubs. We can move that as well. And now we want to move this 2 of diamonds. To do that, we're going to pull the 3 of clubs and put it down here. And then the 2 of diamonds goes down there, ace of diamonds here, and then we can just start moving all these cards up. And as long as we can get to this jack, we should be able to solve this here. Let's just keep moving these in order. There's the 6 of clubs. All right, that's that right there. And there. And there. And there's the 7 of spades, 8 of spades. Okay, we don't have a 7 of diamonds. That could be a little bit of a bottleneck. We'll see how we can work that here. 10 of clubs. Do we have hearts? We do have the 10 of hearts, so that's good. Now we move the jack of hearts here, and that's going to open up this jack of diamonds to go underneath the black queen. And that's very good for us because that allows us to solve it right there. And of course, that is going to wrap this up. I'd like to thank the 5 to 10% of you who stuck around and wish you the best of luck.